Could you walk us through the process of getting a book deal?
Yeah, yeah. So I had written books before. Maybe you should talk to someone. My first book came about because I had found my childhood diaries as I was going to medical school, and I was looking for my old physics notes. And I went into my closet in my childhood bedroom, and there were all these things there that I didn't know were there, including the diaries. And that led to my first book because a friend of mine gave the gave I told me how to he taught me how to write a proposal. You have to write a book proposal. So he taught me how to write a book proposal, and you can Google that. Like, you can find so many examples of that online now, but this was in the prehistoric age, when the internet was not the internet and you couldn't find those things. So I actually had to learn how to do that. You can learn it in a few minutes on the internet now. And so I wrote a book proposal, and he gave it to his agent, and she happened to like it, and that was how the first book came about. Um, my other book came about because I wrote a piece for the Atlantic that went viral, and that was the Marry Him book. And then this one, again, I wrote that Atlantic piece. They wanted me to write the parenting book, and then I ended up saying I want to write a different book. Um, but I think the way you get a book deal is you write a book proposal. And then from that book proposal, you send it to agents. And you should look at books that are similar to the book that you're writing so that you're sending to agents that like that kind of material. So you want to make sure that you're targeting the right agents. And you simply write them like a very short note saying, I'm so and so. You give them a little bio of who you are in, 2 sentences. And you say, I've written this book proposal. Would you be willing to take a look? And they will either say, no, we're not taking submissions right now, or I'm going to pass it on to my colleague, or yes, I will read it. And you have to have really thick skin, because you will get rejected often by so many people who just don't want to read it, or they read it and it doesn't click with them. And you can see, like with my book, I got rejected by everybody, and I was already a writer, and I was already an established writer. And even as an established writer, nobody wanted to do Maybe You Should Talk to Someone. So, you have to remember those stories. There's a book out right now called Falling. It was just on Fresh Air, for those of you who listen to Terry Gross on NPR. And it's a flight attendant who wrote her first novel, and she wrote it over, all these years when she was working. And she went to something like 40 publishers and got rejected from all of them except this one. And it just became, it's been on the New York Times bestseller list for a few weeks now. So those stories are the ones that I think you have to hold on to when you're trying to get your work out there, that people think, oh, it's really easy. People just write something and it happens for everyone else. And why can't it happen for me? Even the people who are quote unquote successful, they got rejected multiple times as well.